Decorating Center. And a very pleasant good morning to you on this, what is today? It's a Tuesday, right? Yeah, I lost track of time all of a sudden. It's next to the last day of the month. Where did April go? I don't know. Just amazing. Time just flies. Which is why we probably need to take advantage of every second we have on this good earth, huh? Yes, indeed. All right, this morning we start out with open phones this hour up till 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock this morning, after the news, we'll learn about the Great Lakes Bay Animal Society and something they have coming up. At 11 o'clock on Focus, something called Tranquil Awakenings will be the subject of Focus. But as I said for this morning, open phones to get us started on this Tuesday morning. A beautiful day. I left the house this morning. It was 73 degrees, and I went, ooh, I like that. Of course, that'll change quickly. But it was nice to get out and enjoy that warmth. Absolutely wonderful. It's my favorite time of the year. Mainly because it's not too hot, it's not too cold, and I've got the entire summer to look forward to. I usually I start thinking about these things as the baseball season starts, because that to me is the trigger of what's ahead, the nicer weather and all of that stuff. So that's I'm enjoying every bit of this sunshine, I gotta tell you. We'll start out talking to Al in Bay City. Al, good morning.
Sir, is there any chance we could get Mike Duggins on your show?
It's funny, we were
Because
just talking.
He's getting some major announcements.
We just talked about that this morning. We had apparently had him scheduled in the next few weeks, but there was a conflict. But we are working on getting him on.
Because I think he's getting some major endorsements.
Well, he got the religious leaders. There's like 150 of them that endorsed him.
Yeah, so there's a chance you can get him on, right?
There is a chance. I don't know when it's going to be, but we'll certainly have him on. It's just a question of getting schedules worked out together.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Take care, Al.
Bye.
Bye-bye now. Yep, the mayor, we're talking about Mike Duggan, of course, running for governor as an independent. And you can tell that even though a lot of people say, no chance, independent, there are a lot of people worried about him, particularly on the Democratic side. The Democrats have entered a sort of a smear campaign to go after him. And you have to understand, he's been a Democrat all of his political life. But now he's chosen to run as an independent, so all of a sudden the Democrats are looking at him as their number one enemy. And they've had FOIA requests and all kinds of stuff digging into his background, his emails, anything that they can get that they might be able to use against him. And they're even trying to align him with Donald Trump. So it's going to be interesting to see. I really want to talk to the mayor because I want to know what his philosophy was in choosing to run as an independent, because he has to know that's a tough road to hoe. It is not easy for an independent. A number of things happen. First of all, the parties go after you. Both parties go after you, as we're already seeing. And the second thing is both parties have a tendency to swipe your ideas as theirs. So you run as an independent, and I'm just going to, I'll pick a subject, all right? You run as an independent and you say, I think we should have X number of dollars for developing this green space. And the next thing you know, one of the two parties is touting X number of dollars for developing a green space. your ideas get shifted to one of the other parties. It happens. It's happened to independents time and time again. It's not an easy road to follow. Now, I give him credit for wanting to do it, and he's an independent kind of guy, and he's had a lot of support in Detroit. Be interesting to see what happens, because we have a local connection, because his brother and sister-in-law live in this area. But time will tell whether it was a good move for him or not. Let's talk to Russ in Bay City. Russ, good morning.
This is Russ in Saginaw.
In Saginaw, I looked at it wrong, Russ. My fault. Good
Not
morning.
a problem. I heard Russ from Bay City many times.
I think it was
I just
burned into my memory. Go ahead.
I can see why. I'll be quick. Number one, as a compliment, I think you provide an excellent forum. I consider you to be pretty objective, which I do appreciate.
I try.
Secondly, is there any information you can help the listeners to find a good, objective forum for information?
Well, I don't know if you'll like what I'm going to say. Objective is a viewpoint. What's one objective to one person is not objective to another. And I, rather than say to you, Russ, here is a site you can go to that I think is objective, I would say to you, go to multiple sites and get multiple views and, choose what you believe after you've looked at both arguments or both sides or both philosophies or whatever it is. I'm not one who believes in one site fills all. I think that the wise person looking for good information has to scour multiple sources.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more, and that's the answer I was hoping for. I hope that all of your listeners will take that information and use that process to get objective, neutral information. Thank you.
All right. Good enough, Russ, and thanks for calling, and I'm glad you're in Saginaw.
All right, buddy. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye now. It's true. I really believe in this day and age that there's something happening out there which is, it's human nature, let's be honest, all right? We all like to hear others say what we believe to be right or what our philosophy is. So the tendency is to go to that source which is saying what you want to hear. But that's self-limiting, because then you're only getting one side of the discussion. So if you only, and I'll just pick two because there's just so many, but if you only listen to Fox, or if you only listen to CNN, you only get one side of the discussion, particularly with the talking heads, which most of them have now. There's almost more talking heads than there is straight news. So my philosophy is, well, let's see what this one's saying. Let's see what that one's saying. And after you've filled your brain full of their mush, sort the pablum and choose your side. But I really don't believe that there's one source that's going to give you all the objectivity you want. And that includes me, by the way. I have my prejudices. I have my philosophies, my views. But at the same time, I also understand there are other views, and they need to be heard. All right, we're going to take a break, come back. We'll get more phones when we return.
Not everyone who handles your personal information
All right, we're back with you here on WSCW. Back to our phones. Paul is in Saginaw. Paul, good morning.
Morning, Art. Art, I just seen in the news here that Bill Belichick, 73, has got a 24-year-old girlfriend.
Oh, you didn't know that? Oh, that's been well publicized.
I just wondered if you and I could get a 30-year-old.
I don't want one.
It'd probably give us a heart attack, wouldn't it?
That's why I don't want one. That's why I don't want one. No, I am one who believes in how can I say it? Age association.
It might cure our ED if we have ED, but it's probably give us a heart attack more than anything.
Yeah. Well, good luck to him. I mean, more power to him. Let me put it this way. I don't begrudge him any opportunities that he has to have a companion, and if he thinks a 24-year-old is right for him, and she thinks it's right for her, who am I?
All right. And she's a hottie, too.
Oh, yeah, she's not bad. She's also very bright. And she's also a control freak.
Right. She didn't even want him to say where they met.
Nope.
When he was asked in the interview.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that interview, and it was interesting.
Yeah.
He's not, and when you watch him, he's not comfortable in interview settings anyway. He's not. I think he looks at him as an annoyance.
It's not his bag.
It's not his bag. No. But
you don't like doing it.
But he's a heck of a coach. So what can you say?
Oh yeah. All right. Just thought I'd throw it out there and see what you thought.
Let me know if you change your mind. All right, Paul.
All right.
Take care.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Later.
In Saginaw, we find Maria this morning. Good morning, Maria.
Good morning, Mr. Lewis. Thank you for taking my call.
Call me Art, please.
Okay, Art, please. Okay.
Very good.
Well, I just wanted to tell you thank you for playing that Willie Nelson song. Rodney Crowell was married to Johnny Cash's daughter, and it's nice that Willie Nelson gave homage to Rodney Crowell's creativity. Willie Nelson was one of the highwaymen with Johnny Cash. And
way back,
Chris
yes, he was. Yep. I want to make sure we thank the right person. We'll thank Charlie because he's the one that dug it up and played it. So, but we thank him.
Thanks, Charlie.
There you go.
I just wanted to say thank you. That was a really nice song, and I'm glad that Willie Nelson is still playing. And
yeah, listen, I think he's 90 or 90 plus right now. He's up there, but he's still doing his thing. Gives me hope.
Yep. Like he said, he wants to be on the road again.
Yeah. Well, more power to him. I mean, listen, it's if your body can take it, your mind's still with you, and your voice is still good, well, who's to say no?
Exactly.
It's the way I look at it anyway. All right. Maria, thanks for your call. Appreciate it.
Welcome. Thank you. Keep playing the good tunes.
We'll try and do that. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Charlie.
Yep, there you go. Thanks, Charlie. All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, Charlie picks the songs. We do these, he does these number 2 songs that didn't make it to number 1, and you're surprised what the number 1 song was that beat it out because the number 2 song was probably as popular, if not more popular. It's an interesting feature he does. So, and Willie Nelson is, I forgot now what the number was, 100 and some odd albums, 158 or something like that. Somewhere in that vicinity, some ridiculous number of albums that he's produced. And at 90, more power to him, There's more and more stories about people in my generation still working, still doing their thing, and enjoying it. I mean, listen, if I didn't enjoy this, love doing what I'm doing, you got to believe me, I wouldn't be doing it. I don't like putting myself through negative situations that I can control. So if this were a negative, I wouldn't be here. But this is a positive in my life. I love it. I love doing it. So why shouldn't I? Anyway, let's talk to Carl is in Saginaw. Carl, good morning.
Good morning, Art. I consider it a positive in my life also. You know,
What's
being
that?
part of a conversation.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
having to keep up on the issues and, you know, being able to, you know, give my opinion on this or that.
Sure, absolutely.
So I value that quite a bit. You know, I'm going to miss it when you're gone.
Yeah, well, no, I won't, because if I'm gone, I'll be gone.
You won't miss it, but we will.
Oh, we'll see who goes first here. Just a minute now. Wait a minute.
In art,
Yeah.
and I'm a little concerned with the history at WSGW that people just disappear without any advance notice. You know, all of a sudden, you know, this personality, he's gone.
Yep.
You know,
And I will tell you this. Let me just tell you this, Carl. It's not just WSGW. It is the nature of the business, and it has always been that way. And part of the reason, and it doesn't happen here as much, but part of the reason is management over the years, and I'm not talking about current management, but management over the years has felt that if, for example, an air personality was going to be leaving or gets let go or whatever, they don't want to give them that 2 weeks to be on the air so they can badmouth them. So typically what happens is you're done the day you're told you're done, and they usually, you know, pay you a severance for it or what have you, but they don't want to give you the airtime for fear you might say something that they don't want you to say. So that's the typical, that's usually what happens and why you think it's instantaneous, and it is in a way, but it's done on purpose.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't care for that practice. I guess
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
somebody just
but management does.
You know? Well, okay. A few minutes ago, you were talking about the governor's race in Michigan.
Yeah.
And the mayor in Detroit.
Right.
You know, as an independent. You had Chris Swanson on as a guest.
Yeah.
About a week ago?
Something like that.
Yeah, I think he is going to be a real contestant, you know, in this race.
He will be if. Here's the if. Chris is a very smart guy, first of all. I've known him a while.
Yes.
And he's done a lot of interesting and very good things in the sheriff's department and jail in Genesee County that are now, some of the programs are worldwide. His problem is, who knows him in Gladwin? Who knows him in Marquette? Who knows him in Traverse City, in Grand Rapids? That's the problem that he has in the fact that his name, right now anyway, is not a household name outside of Genesee County and maybe it's part of the Great Lakes region because we see him on the tube all the time. So he's going to have to get his name out there. But that's true of a lot of these candidates. They're going to have to get their names out. Mike Duggan has the same problem. I mean, you know, he's well known in Detroit, well respected in the metro southeast part of the state. But what happens when he gets to Traverse City? What happens when he gets to the west side of the state? This is true of a lot of these candidates, unless they're, you know, the only one that might be able to get away with that is Jocelyn Benson because she's already a statewide office holder. So her name is out there.
Yeah,
as a matter of fact, her name is every time you get your car, you get her name. But but that's their disadvantage.
Chris,
yeah.
And Chris Swanson, something about the way he comes across, he doesn't come across as a politician.
No, he's very animated.
He's very direct. He's very direct, and he seems very straightforward and honest.
Yeah, he is.
And I think he could break through. You know, when all these other politicians are, covering their words and judging what they're going to say and don't want to offend anybody. I think he has a real chance here.
Well, he might. I mean, we don't know who the other opponents are yet. I mean, we've got a long way to go. What I do know about Chris is he does what he believes is right. And
I think that comes through.
That's a good quality. I like him. I've always liked him. I get a kick out of him in a way. I mean, it's funny to watch him sometimes because he knows how to tweak it.
Have you seen the billboard on I-75 when you go south?
No.
And you hit Genesee County. There's a huge billboard of him. Welcome to Genesee County.
I'll have to look for
Governor or Sheriff Chris Swanson.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'll have to look for it.
Okay.
Good enough.
All right.
Talk to you later. Thanks.
Good
Take
talk.
care.
And I do appreciate these talks.
All right. Same here. Thanks, Carl. Bye-bye now. All right, Carol, hang on. We'll get to you next.
We're proud to make
You return on the Art Lewis Show, and we're going to head out to Sheridan this morning. And in Sheridan, we talk to Carol. Good morning, Carol.
Another breezy day.
Oh, beautiful day.
Yeah, but it's breezy again. It's
it's beautifully breezy.
You have to be careful where you hang your bird feeders, or they get whacked around pretty good. I'll tell you that.
I'll bet that's true. That's true. I'll give you that.
Yeah, in birdies, the Orioles are back, and so is the hummingbird. So if people do that, might be time to do that. I'm
going to put one caution out, though. Some of the departments of the state have suggested not feeding the birds if you live in an area where there's bears, because it's an attractor to the bears. And if the food gets on the ground and you have the feeders, the bears show up. So it's something to be cautious of and be aware of. If you live in an area where there are bears, just be aware.
Yeah, don't let them eat your hummingbird feeder. Okay. I kind of felt sorry for a gentleman that called. He said he couldn't see very well and he couldn't do much. And I had a suggestion that he might like watercolor. A lot of people that can't see very well can do watercolor. Time flies when you do it.
Interesting.
And it's really fun. It's really, really fun. It isn't that costly. You do need watercolor paper, but even a $3 set in the grocery in Meijer or something, a Crayola will do it, and that's kind of fun. It really is. And,
I have to tell you, it's funny you bring that up, and it's not necessarily watercolor. As a kid, I used to get a kick out of doing paint by numbers because I have no artistic ability. But anybody can do paint by numbers. And I figured out how to blend the edges and do stuff so that it didn't look quite so numberish, if you know what I mean. That was fun. And you're right. Time flies when you're doing it.
Yeah. If you're, but watercolor. But and as far as Willie, we went up to Mount Pleasant one time to his concert not all that long ago, and I don't think he missed a lyric. I don't know how many songs he done, but pot can't be that bad for you because he and he don't need all that noise and all that lights and all this crash. He just stands there with that poor old guitar and
does his thing.
Enjoy. Yeah, and Idol has been very good too. The ones on Idol are very good this year.
Oh, really? I have not watched. Probably should get a chance to view it. I will look for the next one. But
it's on Sunday and Monday nights, and they're down to 10. But they've had some really very talented, nice looking young kids on there, and that's enjoyable too.
Oh, absolutely. No, absolutely.
I like that, but. Yeah,
all right.
That's kind of my suggestions for the day.
All right, we'll stay out of
and I'll watch for the bear.
You watch for the bears, all right.
Okay. Well, I have to take them down because the coons get them at night. So.
Oh, all right, yeah. Well, one way or another, you got to protect it, right?
Oh, there's so many of them. They just crash everything.
I know it. Mm-hmm. I had one knock on my door one day with his nose.
Well, they're so cute, but they're everything
yeah.
I plant, they dig up. I mean, I can't plant anything that they don't dig up. So
Yeah, their
whatever.
cuteness ends with the way they act. So
Well, and I feed the skunks. I shouldn't tell people. I have 3 pet skunks that I feed, and I got this little dish I feed them in. And of course, coons come. Yeah, they fight over with the skunk, and it's only like a 8-inch dish. And the other one, a great big old coon, was in that because there was quite a bit of water with all 4 feet, and he's huge, flopping around in this little tiny bowl.
it's entertainment.
Oh, I'm hard up for entertainment, I'll
There
tell
you go.
And I do watch A View, too, because I get slammed because I'm tired of these people slamming all these other things. So I watch A View, and that evens out stuff because they do have an idea, too.
Yeah,
and I
because
know
they
people,
slam the other way.
Yeah, but it gives you a different perspective of what...
yeah.
And go fishing once in a while or go do something fun. Shut
You
this
know, the
crap
problem
off
with the
and
View,
outdoors.
and I predict this is going to happen at some point, ABC is going to cancel it because they're losing lawsuits right and left. And it's getting expensive for ABC to maintain that show.
Well, that one gal worked for Trump, too. You know, she's a reporter. And
Yeah, I understand that. I'm talking about the whole
She knows
show.
him on purpose.
I'm talking about the whole show. It's they've gotten a little far out a few times, and they've lost some major lawsuits. So
But it's kind of fun to watch stuff because then you know what they're talking about, too.
Yeah. All right.
Enjoy.
Good enough. Take care.
Yep, take
Bye-bye.
care. Yep, you too. Bye-bye.
All right, Mike, hang on. We'll get to you next after these notes. First of all, you know, what are we talking about today? Happens to be the 100th day of the Trump presidency, the second time around, and everybody's talking about tariffs and things like that. Well, McDonald, Ford, and Freeland heard the word tariff coming, and they took advantage of it. With the uncertainty of tariffs, it's become even more important that McDonald Ford stock their lot with tariff-free vehicles and many, many more en route. Now, couple that with the fact that Ford is offering employee pricing for everyone, meaning you pay the same price as Ford employees. So, what does that mean to, say, a Chrysler or an import buyer? Well, if you're considering a Ford, you will receive the lowest price offered. Chevy truck buyers, maybe it's time you thought about getting the truck you've always wanted, the Ford F-150, best-selling pickup in the country. Also, at employee pricing. So you see, now's the right time to visit McDonald Ford M47 in Freeland for the best selection, lowest possible price. Don't let tariffs prevent you from getting the vehicle of your choice at a price you can afford. Visit McDonald Ford in Freeland today. Remember, tariff-free and employee pricing for everyone. And a big thank you to McDonald Ford and Quick Lane Freeland for hosting the Freeland Walleye Car Show this Sunday. Beautiful weather, about 150 vehicles. It was just a wonderful, wonderful day for a car show at McDonald Ford during the Walleye Festival. We will be back.
Take me out to
All right, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show, and Mike is in Thomas Township. Mike, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Art. Your last caller mentioned about watercolor paintings.
Yep.
And what I did with Barb, she had Alzheimer's, is I got some of those old type of painting books where you just use water and the page is, white, and then the colors come out.
Really?
I found them at an antique shop, but I don't even know if they're available anymore. But that'd be fun for somebody that has some problems with, their mental state or whatever,
Yeah, sure.
They're kind of neat. And hey, I heard you talking about the cars over there. I can't get to car shows anymore because I can't. You have to park a gazillion miles away, and then you have to walk.